Hello once again, welcome to this Learn Some Drums lesson for B.Y.O.B by System of a Down. The song starts out with just the guitar riff, and then when the drums come in, we've got this up-tempo beat that I'm sure you already know if you've done any punk or metal stuff in the past. There's a 1-bar break for those screamed vocals. Then when the drums come back in, I'm gonna think in 6/8. Just makes it a lot easier. We're going 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6. If you count it out like that slowly, it'll make it a lot easier to line up all of the notes. Then you'll be able to speed it back up. I'll play it for you slow. Those crash cymbal hits at the end of the little phrases are a bit strange to count. They come in on beat 4 and the and of 5, so it'll be 4 and 5 and 6 and. But after tempo, that's really tricky to count, so I think it's easiest if you just listen to the song and try and get a feel for it that way. Moving on, we're going to add double kicks. We're playing basically the same beat, but we're just getting both feet moving, just like this. And the crash cymbal hits at the end of the next 4 bars just land on beat 1 and beat 4, and then that's this section done. That's the end of our first 6/8 section, and when you're working on that section, make sure to try and line up your right hand and your right foot right throughout that whole section. And then when the double kicks come in, your left hand on the snare drum is actually going to line up with the left foot, which makes it a lot easier to play from a coordination perspective. All right, moving on, we're into our first pre-chorus, and we're going to break things down and play a groove that goes like this. I'll go over that fill one more time slowly. Keeping much the same thing going on the kicks and the snare drum, we're going to add some sizzled hi-hats over the top, and that will make up the groove for our next section. That groove doesn't sound that tricky, but it's a little bit complicated to play. So if it's giving you problems, you could leave out all the extra hi-hats and just play the offbeats, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And just remember, in terms of sizzles, I sometimes like to think about the foot coming down on the beat that's not the sizzle. I know that sounds a bit confusing, but in this case, we'd be playing down on the foot on the beat so that we get a sizzle off the beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Hopefully those little tips help you out, but at the end of the day, it is just practice. So if that beat's giving you problems, just slow it right back and eventually you'll get it and be able to take it back up to speed. At the end of this section, there's a fill, so I'll play that for you now. That fill is just groups of 3, 1 on the hands and 2 on the kicks. Play that twice through with that crash at the end, and then we're going to count in to our 6/8 section again. This time in the 6/8 section, the hi-hat part has longer phrases and the double kick part has shorter phrases. So first up, let me play the hi-hat part. Then we hit the double kicks again, and like I said, the phrases are shorter, so I'll take them 2 bars at a time. And now the next 2 bars. The next 2 bars are the same as the first 2. And here's the last 2 bars of this 6/8 section. From the end of that 6/8 section, we go back into the pre-chorus and the chorus, just the same as we did them the first time around, including the fills at the end of both sections. At the end of the chorus, we're going to move on and we have a tempo change, but we're going to play the beat that we played right at the start of the song, so it goes like this. For the next beat, which is going to be a blast beat, we have 3 snare drums in a row, so that just goes like this. Now we're up to the blast beat section. Now, I'm no expert on blast beats, but we're just playing singles split between the hi-hats and the snare drum and adding kick drums to every hi-hat as well. Slowly, it goes like this. Then as we get faster, I think you want to bring everything down. So bring your stick heights down as low as you can, but keep them nice and controlled. That's going to help you with the speed. After that blast beat section, we go back to the groove we were just using before. And then to round out this section, we have some cymbal catches and some great fills as well. I'll take it slowly. If you've kept up with everything that we've covered so far, we can skip ahead from here. We're going to go back to the 6/8 section exactly the same as we played it the second time, and then we go back into the pre-chorus and the chorus again, but right at the end of this chorus, we just drop off one bar, have a tempo change once again, and go into a blast beat. Then to get us to the end of the song, we're going to halve the tempo and play a nice solid groove like this. And with those two stops, that brings us to the end of B.Y.O.B by System of a Down. It's definitely tricky to get it up to speed, so take your time with it, try and get all the notes in the right order, and then slowly speed it back up. Have fun practicing that one, guys. It's definitely fun to jam along to. I'll see you at the next lesson.